Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create this fire animation easily in the app Hipaint. So this is going to be a beginner friendly tutorial entirely for beginners. So if you are a complete beginner, you can also create such animation very easily by following the steps I made. So don't skip the video anyway and let's get started. So here I'm going to click on this plus to create a canvas. Click on this new canvas and you can use any size based on the purpose. I'm going to use the 3:4 ratio canvas here, and yes, we have created. And now I'm going to apply some gradient background. So I'm choosing one color which I'm going to use on that gradient, and for the another color we will choose after on switching on this gradient. So I just click the gradient, and on one side I have choose the color already, and on another side just click on this box. When you click on that box, you're able to change the color. Like you can see, when I click on this block, and I got that color panel where I can change the color. Also, I'm going to change the color on the lower part little bit and adjust this gradient panel so that you get the desired outcome. I just want something dark at the top and little bit glowy at the bottom because the fire has to be much more visible than the background. So I'm using the dark shade for this. Now I just created a new layer, and in the new layer I'm going to draw the matchstick that that we use for creating the fire. So for this I'm going to use the ballpoint pen brush, and I'm going to make a slant line like this and hold this stroke that you made to get this shape recognition option. You'll get the tick option to do, and also you can adjust the thickness of the stroke if you want, and if you feel it's perfect, then click on this tick on the right side. Now we got this, and I will apply the details later on. Before that, I'm going to use the almost like a grayish black color to draw this chemical which will be attached to that the matchstick. So I'm going to make it a little bit like an oval shape, and then I'm just reducing the size because I want it to be more perfect, and I'm just extending that to the stick. So you can see this part is little bit thinner compared to the oval I made. And you can also try leaf brush for creating this. So I want to add little bit realistic details, like if you see the burning fires matchstick, you can see it will not be having a perfect shape like a dark color, like some you can see some unsimilar kind of details. So for that I'm using this leaf brush. Also you can try some eraser to make it little bit faded out here. So here I'm using 2B pencil eraser, and on this side, but it erased too much, so again I'm going to use the pen. I'm going to use the 2B pen, or you can also try any other texture pen for this, but here I'm using the 2B pencil brush. If you have any extra unwanted details, you can erase using the leaf eraser. So here I'm going to add details for this. So I just created a new layer above the streak, and I just made this as a clipping layer, and I just changed the blending mode to linear burn because I'm going to apply the darker shade details here. So I'm choosing a little bit darker shade, something like a brick orange color, and using the leaf brush I'm going to apply the details. So I'm going to add a wooden texture details because you know that the matchstick is made of wooden material. So I'm going to use the wooden texture. Okay, almost finished. Now we can adjust the opacity of the layer and see what looks better. And I'm going to make it like a 3D one, like the matchstick is of square shape. So I just merged that linear burn layer, and I'm again creating a linear burn blending mode clipping layer for this. Then I'm going to add the 3D details because it's going to be a square shape, or you can call it a cube or something like that. So I'm adding this detail so that it looks some kind of edgy squarey shape, and adjusting the opacity. Then I just going to merge the layer. Why I'm merging the layers once I done is because when we do animation we need so many layers, and when we create a canvas the number of layers that we can use are very limited. If you use so many layers just for these basic details, then you're gonna end up in the shortage of layers. So to avoid this problem, once you've done the basic details and you know that you're not going to do further changes, then you can immediately merge them together because it will save us few more layers that we can use for the animation. So here again I just created a linear burn blending mode layer to add shadings. So I'm using 2B pencil to add this shading. Now using the add blending mode clipping layer for the same stick, I'm adding a little bit of glowy finish on the left side because on the left side we're going to have the fire animation. So it have little bit of glowy details which will be reflected by the stick. So for that I'm adding the glowy details there, and also adding little bit of glowy highlights here and there. Okay, almost finished. Now I'm going to merge all the clipping layers to the stick layer one by one. Merge and merge it again. Okay, now I'm going to add details for this chemical bud like details which is attached to the stick. So I'm using the leaf brush and going to add details like this. Also we can reduce the opacity of the brush and add little more details. Then now I'm going to add some highlight details. So I'm using the add blending mode layer and I'm going to use the medium nozzle brush to add the texture. Using a light grayish color for creating this detail. However, this detail is not going to be that much visible in the animation because this will be covered by the fire. Still, we try to make it perfect by adding the details. Okay, now it's good. I'm going to merge these layers. Adjust the opacity if you want and merge. Now I'm going to keep all these three layers as a background for the animation. So I'm not going to make any movements or animation for these details. So I'm merging all inside a group by creating a group and dropping everything inside the group like this. Just drag the layer inside the group and it will be added. And now our background is ready, and above this I'm going to create a layer. So and also I'm going to change the name of the group as background so that we not get confused, because we will be using so much of groups for the animation. So to avoid confusion, I've just changed the name of the layer as background, and above this I just created a layer. And in this layer I'm going to make kind of mapping for the animation to make, and this mapping will not be visible in the final outcome, so don't worry, and you can try different styles of animation, different motion possible, and check which looks good. So here is a trick. So I'm just following a technique which is shared by a famous YouTuber. I'll add the name of that YouTube channel on the side. It is a Procreate animation tutorial, and I just took inspiration from that and made this video. So this trick is really easy and anyone, even a beginner, can try this. So just make 4 dots at the top and small 1 dot at the bottom. Like this small 1 dot going to be the center of rotation for that fire, and at the top we have four dots, and these dots is for the movement, like it's going to move between these four dots, the fire going to move between these four dots. And I just also added the way of movement, like from left to right and then from right to left. So this is going to be a mapping, and I'm renaming this layer as a mapping. And below this I'm going to create a layer, and in this layer I'm going to draw the fire. So for drawing fire I'm using ballpoint pen brush and red color. Also I'm going to use the circle tool. So go to this shapes tool and click on the circle, draw a circle here, and place it exactly like this. Now I'm going to draw a fire using this basic circle as a base. Switch off the shapes tool and draw the fire. Also you can increase the size if you want. A more curvy line like this. And also by holding you'll get the anchor points to adjust the stroke. You can adjust if you want. Click on the stick. If it's not perfect you can draw once again. So I was not happy with that, so I just undo it and redrawing it. This looks better. And on this side it's going to be in another way of like a, it's like a, what we can call like a cashew nut shape, or you can say as mango shape, and fill with the color by using the dropping color option. Okay, done. And here just switch on the lock transparent pixel option, and then we can add details. When we are using the lock transparent pixel option, the details that we going to apply will be applied only to the content we have on that layer. So here in this layer we just have this fire shape, and I'm adding the orange color and yellow color using the 2B pencil brush, and this shading will not go out of this shape because we have switched on the lock transparent pixel. Now it's good. Now I'm going to make the shape perfect, so you can try 2B pencil eraser, because the fire is going to be very thin and a little bit transparent near the stick. So I'm erasing it a little bit at the bottom. Next I'm going to make the animation process. So I just duplicated this. Just swipe left and you can have the option to copy. Switch on that and it will be duplicated. Now once you duplicated, just move the shape like this. Make sure you just placed the the center of rotation point to this pink dot like this, and then using the rotation option here at the top, just rotate. So when we keep that blue color center of rotation to that pink point, so that will act like a exact center, and when we rotate the position will not change, only the angle of this will change. So that's why I told to keep that blue color point at the center of this pink color. And now I just duplicated this, and it's going to flow from right to left now. So for that, again I'm going to place the center of focus or the rotation to that pink point, and I just flipped it horizontally and placing it on this side. So now this is going to move from right to left. Done. Release the transform tool. Once again, the same process, just swipe left, copy, and place this point exactly at the pink point, and then rotate using this rotate option like this, and done. So same process for the next two times. Okay, now we have created 8 layers for this animation, and now I'm going to switch on the create animation option, which will be available under the three dots. Click on this create animation, and here, yeah, and we can see here is the background layer. Just click on that and click on the background option so that this background will be visible in all the frames. So each layer act like a frame here, and this background will be visible in all the frames. And here on I'm just making the mapping layer as the foreground, so this will also be appearing in all the frames. Now adjust the speed, so I'm keeping at 5 6 something like that. You can create you can keep based on your requirement. If you don't want too much fast, then you can minimize the frames per second value. Now I'm going to create another layer above the first layer, and I'm going to create a small yellow color fire inside this red color fire. So you can see again same process. I'm going to create a circle at the center using the yellow color, and I'm going to create the same shape in the same way. Again I'm going to use the same method, like it's going to be repeated 8 times, and we're going to make the rotation using this mapping and transform tool. Here I'm making that shape. So I'm making sure the inner fire shape is almost similar to the outer fire shape, so that it looks good. If you change the shape too much, it will be like a mess. So I'm trying my best to keep the shape similar. Now drop the color using this drop option, and switch on the transparent lock transparent pixel option. Use almost like a pale white color or pale yellow color. Using the 2B pencil, reduce the size. I'm going to add the white shade. Then using the 2B pencil eraser, I'm going to erase the bottom. Same process again. I'm just erasing and making like little bit transparent at the bottom. Now just copy this fire, and I'm going to drop one of these layer above this first layer, so it creates a group automatically. So Hipaint create groups automatically when you drop a layer over another layer. And with the duplicated fire, I'm going to change the position. So just place this blue color point, focus point at this pink color point, and just make a rotation. And now duplicate and keeping it above, and this going to be merged with this as a group. We have created a second group. Now with this duplicated one, I'm going to create the change the position and create another group, which is going to be third frame or the third group. Same process once again. So here the grouping matters, because when you group, you have to make sure the position of the outer orange or the red color fire and the position of the inner yellow color fire should be same. If it is not same, it's not going to work. So keep it, make sure you rotation is exactly same and group them properly. Just duplicate it again, move one to the top, and just drag this and drop over the fire layer, red color fire layer, and it will create the group. So same process again, you can follow along with me. For the next frame, I just going to change the horizontal position by using the flip horizontal, and place it like this and start moving to the left. And here you can see the fire animation is ready, and you don't need this mapping layer anymore. So switch off the foreground in the animation panel, then switch off the visibility of that layer. Now duplicate these two layers in the first frame and change the blending mode to add, and switch off the lock transparent pixel option on these layers. Then use the Gaussian blur to create the glow for this fire. So I just created this glow for the outer red color fire, and for this inner flame again I'm going to do the same process. Change the blending mode and switch off the alpha log or the log transparent pixel and create the glow using the Gaussian brush. Make sure the glowy add blending mode layers are at the top of the normal layers. So same process again, duplicate to both the layers and switch off the lock transparent pixel, change the blending mode to add, and use the Gaussian blur tool. So this process is going to continue for the all other 6 frames. So follow along with me. Okay, we have done the glowy blur details for all the layer, and now I'm going to show you how this look as an animation. So this looks really good, came out really well, and you can also make few changes in the setting of this animation if you want. The basics like changing the speeds like frames per second. By changing the frames per second, it will automatically change the speed of the animation. If you keep that value high, it's going to move fast, and if you keep that value low, it's going to move slow. Here you can see when I keep that as like 12, 15, it's going to move really fast, and when I keep that at 6, it's going to be really slow. So I want this speed. It looks good, and you don't need to make any changes here except that, and keep that in the loop option. If you try ping pong, it will be going forward and backward. That is not needed for this kind of animation, and you can save as GIF as well as MP4. For saving as MP4, you have to watch the ad, or you should pay especially for that. Here I didn't pay for that, so I just chose to click on that free to use option, and I just watched the ad to use it. You will get a cross option on the left or right side of this display. You can click on that and the ad will be over. And here we have that. Click on this, and now again when you click on this as export MP4, it will be exported to your gallery. Now go to your gallery and you have the animation. Here I show you this animation. So if you want to add audio for this MP4 animation, it's not possible in Hipaint app. You can add using the various video editing software or applications. You can try that, but inside Hipaint there is no option to add audio for your video. So I think you learned something new from this video, and you learned a new trick. If so, subscribe to my channel. Also check many of my animation tutorials. Also I have made many Hypen drawing, IBS paint text drawing and infinite paint drawing tutorials. Watch them as well, and contact me, DM me on Instagram if you have any doubts, or if you want to join my online session to learn the full application and improve your drawing skills. Thank you for watching. Bye.